Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. As usual, I'll be giving just a couple of minutes to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. But even as you guys keep coming in, just want to send a shout out to each and every one of you for keeping it a day with us. How have you guys been? Those working at home remotely, how has it been? Those in the office, those driving around, those caught up in traffic. How was the weather treating each and every one of you guys? Hope everything is moving on smoothly. Today is indeed a good day. Just give us a couple of minutes before we take it up. Okay, like I said 1 minute ago, I will be giving just 2 minutes. I think I have exhausted the 2 minutes I will be giving. I think I will just take it off from here, even as people keep joining us for the event. Good afternoon once again and welcome. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Goggle, and I'm a training coordinator with the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple Small Business Development Center helps small businesses start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to no cost webinars. We are proud to be part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Center, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. We're here this afternoon for a webinar on reaching customers online with Google. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar, all the attendees have been muted. However, we always encourage you guys to drop your questions on the Q&A or the chat box. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome my wonderful presenters, even as they take over the floor for the presentation. Soleil and Vicky, you guys are highly welcome.
Thank you so much, Garba. Thanks for having us today. Welcome, everyone. John, I noticed you said in the chat that you couldn't hear us really well. Are you able to hear me okay? I'll be leading this presentation today, so I want to make sure that the audio is okay and that you can hear me. You can respond in the chat and let me know. So I am Soleil. I'll be your presenter today. And as you can see, I am with the lovely Vicky Sepulveda. She is also a coach with Google. I will do official introductions in just a moment, but I'm very excited to get into today's workshop, which is Reach Customers Online with Google. So Grow with Google has so many different ways to help people grow their skills and their careers and even their businesses by helping to offer these digital skills training and tools that really help you to take things to the next level. So today we are going to get into how you can reach your customers and potential customers online through all of these different amazing products and tools that you can apply to your business. I do want to invite you all to communicate with us in the chat, ask your questions. We will be monitoring it throughout the entire presentation so we can engage with you. Again, my name is Soleil Meade. I am from the Pittsburgh area and I am the Pennsylvania Grow with Google Digital Coach proudly. I'm also the owner of Soleil Branding Essentials, which is a full service branding and marketing agency. I help small businesses, communities, nonprofits, individuals bring their visions to life. So it is an honor for me to serve in this capacity as the coach to help small businesses with those tools to help grow their business. Vicky has dropped my contact information in the chat, and you can feel free to reach out to me and connect with me on social, as well as email me with any questions. I promise you, I will get to you and respond as soon as I can. I also want to introduce my coach assistant for the day, who is Vicky Sepulveda. She is the Texas West Grow with Google Digital Coach. So we have coaches all across the country helping small business owners just like you kind of level up and go to that next level whenever it comes to their business. She is the owner and CEO of Crossing Bridges Consulting. She has been a Grow with Google digital coach for several years since the inception of the program. So she is a whiz whenever it comes to literally everything Google. So if you need consulting or coaching, please reach out to Vicky. So her and I are here for you all today. We are here to make sure that we answer as many questions as we possibly can for you, that we give you the tools and information. You'll notice that Vicky will be dropping some engagement in the chat, and I'll be monitoring that and we'll engage with you that way. I also want to invite you all to follow our Digital Coaches program on Instagram. Make sure you shout us out. You can record a video or send a snapshot of today's training, what you learned, what you enjoyed about it. You never know, you might end up getting featured on our program. So let's go ahead and get started. I want you to take a moment to think about how you connect with businesses that might need products or services from you, or that you might need products or services from. Most of us, we start online. We compare prices, we read reviews, we do other research, but it's all usually at the core of Google and at a Google search. So that is what we're going to get in today, the importance of how we are actually finding the information that we need. The same way that we do it is the same way that someone is out there looking for what you have to offer. So because Google is at the core of most of our searches and how we find what we need online, you want to think about what that means for your actual business. So here's some statistics. 80% growth from people who are searching for local businesses year after year. That means someone is searching for businesses near you or near me. You know, if you own a dog grooming business, people are searching for dog grooming near me. It's on a rise, 80%. 61% of US consumers think that buying online and picking up in store or curbside is a more beneficial way for them to shop, even when there are no restrictions. So we went through the pandemic, right? We were forced to go online and find out the information that we needed. But now that there's no restrictions, we still want that. We still want that information. So again, that information is so important to know as we are conducting our own business, because the same way people want to find what they need online, again, is the same people that are looking for what you have to provide. And that's why you need to have a solid online presence. So let's get into the agenda today. So we are going to talk about Google search. Then we're going to talk about search engine optimization, business profile, and online advertising. And in the mix of that, there are going to be so many different products and tools we're going to talk about today to help you reach customers online. But I'm going to pause for a moment, and I want you all to jump in the chat and answer this for me. What are you most interested in learning about today? I want you to type 1 if it's SEO, 2 for the business profile, 3 for Google Ads, or 4 for all of them. Let me know what you're interested in working on today and learning about today. So I see Caitlin's interested in SEO. That's awesome. SEO is a very, very powerful tool. Google Business Profile is another one. So it looks like we have people that are interested in all the different products and services that we're covering. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started so you guys can get the information that you need to help leverage your business. So let's start with Google search and understand how it works, because understanding search helps us to know how our website is showing up in search results. So it all starts with a Google search. So imagine a library with tons of books in it, and by the day, it's constantly growing. More and more books are added, but imagine that there's no card catalog, that you're not able to even find the book that you need, let alone find specific information within a book that you need. That would feel like a very confusing situation, one that you would just be like, oh, you know what? I'm not even going to try to find this information in all these books. So the reason why I bring that analogy up is that is what Google search does. I want you to think of Google search being the engine that goes into the library with all of these books, and they're able to categorize these books, create a catalog. So when you're searching for something, it's going to pull up exactly what you need. So that is what Google search does in the World Wide Web. So instead of books, we're searching for websites, we're searching for businesses, we're searching for information regarding whatever product or service or business that we're looking for. So again, we sort through all of these web pages and we pull information from these web pages that enables us to put the information that is most suitable for what was searched in front of that person. So this illustration is showing you the different ways that you may be able to show up in Google search. One is organic results, and you can see that is there below the text ads. Right above organic results is the text ad. So it might be an ad that you run that shows up in Google, and then to the right, many of us are familiar with a business profile that might pop up based off of what you're searching. So let's look into this a little bit more. So a lot of times there's this behind the scene thing that's going on, and we talked about this a little bit. What's happening is you are entering in a search for, in this illustration, it's showing yoga pants. So what Google does is it makes a copy of the entire web, scans it, catalogs it, and all the content. It is literally like that index or that catalog, except it's like 1 trillion times longer. You got to think all the information for all the websites in all the world. That's what Google has. So if a potential customer is searching for yoga pants, then what Google is going to do is identify all the relevant results and put them in order based off of what they think is most useful to the person who is searching. In order to do that, it considers some factors which are important. It may look at where the searcher is located, whether the page that they are recommending has been updated recently, how many other pages link to that page, whether or not there are pictures on the page, and so much more. And that is some of the reason why having your website set up properly is so important, because the way that search works, it's looking for all those things. So you want to make sure that you have your location or the areas that you serve on your website or where you ship to on your website. You want to make sure you're updating your site frequently with new information, and have pictures, have information and details, because all of those things feed into how you are going to show up in search results. So let's get into it a little bit more and talk about search engine optimization. So SEO, as you will hear me refer to it throughout this section, is what is really going to help make your website rank high whenever these searches are being performed. So let's talk a little bit more about the organic results. These are the natural results, which is down the center of the search result pages, as you can see here. So what happens is Google builds these pages for every search that is conducted, so it can give you the best results that are relevant to what you search for. So this is not including the business profile and a text ad. This is literally everything that just naturally shows up whenever you type in new yoga pants, new comfortable yoga pants. Say that's what you're looking for. So whenever you search for that information, people might be looking for yoga pants, like they can go pick up that same day. So they might add their city and their state. So then again, you will see that when you add that information to the search, then Google search is going to do the job and make sure that it pulls up the information that is relevant to your location since you typed it in there. So what those types of things are, like the area that you're in different relevant topics that you might add to your search, they're called signals. And the signals determine which web pages should appear for which searches. So organic search results are different than paid advertising, because how your site ranks is really based off of how you are using your website to provide information to be searched properly. So I want you to keep that in mind as you move on. As you see in the slide here, it is revealing Trade Street Jam Company. And Trade Street Jam Company is showing up in its organic results, as you can see, because they have multiple pages linked. You can see multiple pages show up. And you can even see that more results for Trade Street Jam Company, because now since it's showing up, because you typed in, jam recipes for the holidays, Trade Street Jam pops right up for you, and now you can go learn more information. The reason why they are popping up for you is because they have solid SEO built into their website and their searches, so they can make sure that they show up whenever you're searching for them. So let's talk a little bit more about SEO. We could do a whole presentation on SEO, but we're going to limit it to a couple of slides and give you some high level information. Vicki just dropped a link into the chat that will give you access to a starter guide that you can use to get more information about SEO. So SEO is the technique that improves your website's ranking in Google search results. It also attracts higher quantity and quality website visits to grow your online presence. Because you're using SEO, you are almost using like a fine-tooth comb to find the people that need exactly what you have to offer. So instead of having it very broad spectrum of who you want to serve, SEO allows you to really zoom in and present your product and services in a way that speaks to the people who you have made it for. So SEO is important whenever you're managing your website for your brand, because the consumers are using these search engines to find you. So how you build this information up is what is going to make you show up in the best way possible. So on the slide, you can see it helps to make your website more visible, to connect with customers, and potentially increase sales. So let's get into it a little bit more about how you can build SEO to make sure that it is working in your favor. So the first thing is knowing that your content is so important. So again, a lot of times when we have these workshops and trainings, we get excited about the information we hear and we zoom off to go update our information and add keywords to our SEOs and change some information in your website. And that is great energy. But I highly, highly recommend that once you absorb this information, just to take a moment and spend some time in this thinking space, and really think about content and be intentional about planning out what it is that you want to change, the best way to say it, how it's going to attract customers, and how it represents well. So let's talk a little bit more about content. You want to publish good content. You want to make sure that it is regularly published. So you want to have some consistency. You want to make sure that it's useful for the user. So, and you want to make sure that it is reflective of your style and how you present things. There may be instructions that naturally come with your product that you offer, but there may be a way in which you explain the instructions that makes it so easy. Or maybe you include a video with your instructions to help your users understand more. You want to be intentional and think about that, because all of that content is key whenever you are working on SEO. So you want to make sure you update your website frequently so all of your information is relevant. You want to use page titles and descriptions. So, most of us are used to the common web page, home, about, contact us, shop. Those are great and they're great standards. But again, if you have the history of CMOS, because you sell CMOS, then you want to make sure that you make that as a page title and a description. Because again, Google search is going to be searching your website for all that information for whenever Vicki goes to search CMOS because somebody told her it's good for your immune system during the winter months, then you have the likelihood to show up because you're intentional about naming your pages on your website, including that description, so you can get caught up in Vicki search for CMOS, right? And then the other thing is organized. So you want to be organized on your website and your web pages. Again, a lot of times we are, really propelled by the excitement to get it done, to put our information out there. But organized content is going to allow Google to search properly. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people do is they put all their information on one page. Say you put everything on your homepage, which I'm a firm believer of a all-inclusive homepage, but you have to have sub pages to accompany that, because if you run your winter sale on your homepage, but you don't have a web page for your winter sale, then it's less likely that it is going to pick up in its full effect whenever Google search is scanning your website. So you want to make sure that you take care of that. content management systems like WordPress or Wix give you the option to enter this text in. So again, a lot of the SEO work is back end work on your website. It's filling in those descriptions. It's adding alternate text and code that's going to help you to show up properly. So here's another one of those tools that I had mentioned that I think are absolutely great to help you reach customers online. It helps you to do that prep work before you start writing content, ads, and things of that nature. It's called Google Trends. So what Google Trends does is it is going to put content strategies and marketing messages in front of you that are connected to your actual industry. So if you are in the, let's just continue on with CMOS. If you are selling CMOS, you can go to Google Trends and type in CMOS in the search. It's going to tell you what states and different demographic areas are searching for this. It's also going to give you insight on what other people are searching for in regards to CMOS. So you might see things come up like CMOS is helpful. What are the benefits of CMOS? Can I take it with other medicine? You might find all of these different things that might pop up for you. And then that enables you, to be able to go ahead and see what other people are searching for. That way you get real strategic, and then your marketing content for social media is about the benefits of CMOS. And then maybe you add that page to your website because now you know through Google Trends that people are actually looking for that particular information. And you might find that, I know with CMOS, you might find that Dr. Sebi is, comes up often whenever CMOS is searched. So then now you might want to include a part of that in your marketing and technique. So Google Trends is really amazing in helping you kind of get that information going. So I want to know from you all, how many of you all would consider using Google Trends for your business? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat. Let us know. On this slide here, you'll see an activity. So I would love, and I love to see so many of you are interested in using this. If you have the capacity right now, pull up a Google window and go to g.co/trends. I want you to enter keyword or phrase that you want to compare, or a keyword or phrase that's associated with your business, and take a look at the results that you see. Remember, in Google Trends, you can narrow things down by location. You can adjust date ranges so you can see, for instance, I use the terminology of a winter sale. So you can see what are the trends in the winter months from last year for a search for CMOS gel, and then compare it to natural remedies. So now you can get the comparison between two to see what people were searching for last winter around this time. And most of the things that you pick up, you might be able to see, well, wow, CMOS gel responds to all of these things that people were searching for natural remedies. I need to make sure natural remedies are added to my keywords that I use for my business. So I love to see that most of you are going to use it. And John, I see that you're saying you're new to digital marketing. So put this as a tool to put in your arsenal to use as you continue to grow in digital marketing. It's really cool, even to use on things that we are looking at just on a day-to-day basis. Like I did a Google Trends search on TikTok compared to Instagram, just to see, because I know that they are very popular entities right now. So it's very interesting to just see what type of information that Trends provides you to help give you insight on a business. So let's go over a couple more things that can affect SEO. So first of all, I want to talk about load time of your website. Have y'all ever been, give me an explanation point in the chat, right? Have y'all ever been to a website? I always use this example because this is so me. So I like Jamaican food and I have a taste for some jerk chicken. So I'm out and about, I'm wrapping up my errands and I'm trying to find somewhere to get the best jerk chicken at. So I type in Jamaican food near me on Google. And then I pull up and I see this place has awesome reviews and I click on it and I'm just looking at a white screen. because it's loading and I can't see the information. And now I'm mad because I'm in traffic and I don't like, if that has happened to you, drop an explanation point in the chat. I know it's happened to me countless times. And what happens is I end up going back and going to the next Jamaican spot that's there. So I see a lot. Yes, that's annoying, right? So we don't want to be that annoying person whenever someone's looking for our business. So you want to make sure your load time is on point. A slow site is going to really have visitors just navigate away from it. And you really run into the hands of your competitor, or you send a girl home hungry like me. So you want to make sure your load time is fast on your site, as fast as it can possibly be. You also want to look at browsers and devices as well. So you want to be aware that your site is working on all browsers. So you should make sure you pull up your site on Chrome, on Firefox, on Safari to make sure that it is loading properly and everything is in alignment. You also want to make sure that you can see your site well on your mobile version, on a tablet, on a desktop, so on and so forth. So let's talk about a couple of tools that can help you do that. So Test My Site is one of them. So Vicki already dropped the link to Test My Site. Some of you can head over there now, go ahead and plop your website in and get a report. It's really cool because it'll give you an initial report and then it'll email you some detailed information and even give you some tips on how to enhance your speed of your site. If you don't manage your own site and you work with a website developer, then this is something you can share with them so you guys can collectively help to bring up the speed to your website. So Vicki already dropped it in the chat and I see some of you have answered. If you will try Test My Site for your website, give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. I want to see if you all are going to use these tools. This is another one that I love, and it's Google Search Console. So it used to be called Google Webmaster Tools. So it is really important for SEO because it helps you measure your search traffic and performance. Then it doesn't stop there. Once it measures your traffic and performance, it tells you what issues that you need to fix in order to improve how you show up in search results. So again, this is another free tool. It's usually used by SEO specialists or marketers that really monitor website traffic. So again, this is a great one to pull your web developer or your marketing specialist in on so you can make decisions based off of what Search Console is reporting out. They're going to give you reports about it. It's going to go a little bit further than Test My Site and give you some analysis on tools like analytics, Google Trends, and ads as well. So even if you don't handle the technical details, you definitely should be aware of Search Console and the information that it offers so you can empower whomever you're working with to pick up those details. So it says,
hey, yeah, so but let me check the link and I'll drop it again if that link is incorrect.
Okay, yeah, we'll find it for you all. Sorry about that. So let me know about Search Console. Would you all use Search Console for your business? Give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. I hope you would. It's definitely helpful to make sure, again, that you're showing up properly in search. It lets you know how your website is working well, and then it gives you those greater details and reports on how you can make it even better in conjunction with powerful tools like analytics and ads. So yes, Luis said a whole bunch of explanation points in a 1. So I love to hear that. I'm really glad that we're getting some tools in front of you all that you'll use. What'd you find, Vicki?
So you're correct. We have a wrong link. So I did a Google search. It is that Test My Site is no longer available, which I will get back to the Grow with Google content team to make sure we update that slide. But I did drop a mobile friendly test, and you can just type the URL. So it does say google.com/test/mobile friendly. So I'm gonna drop that in there. I don't think so y'all try that one that I just put in there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Vicki. Another tip that I want to give you all, because I experienced that on one of my sites the other day. So I build a lot of my websites on Wix, and Wix is a very powerful platform that not only allows you to build amazing websites, but it gives you a lot of features to conduct all of the business around your website. One of the things that I noticed in the analytics tab of Wix was that it was automatically running a test on my site. So if you have a content management platform like Wix, Shopify, WordPress, Square, you can check those as well to see if they have any type of tool that is checking how your site is loading as well. And also, use the link that Vicky put in there. So here is another quick activity that we want to do. So I want you to go to google.com and I want you to think of a word or a phrase related to your business, or even it could be the name of your business or a product that you offer. When you search it, what comes up? And this is a test for us to know how we are showing up on Google. So I want you all to do that and then come to the chat and let me know what you see. Are you showing up on the first page? Are you finding some competitors show up? What are you finding? And if you're finding something that you don't like, what is it that you would want to do with it? What do you want to see differently? And if nothing shows up whenever you search, then how are we going to make sure that you show up? How do we take a peek at the competition to see how their offering is stacked up so we can compete properly? So if you do this activity, you can report back to the chat and let me know what you found. Whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, let us know what you're going to do to kind of move from that moment. I really encourage you to do Google searches on yourself and your products that you offer on a frequent basis, just so you know what's out there. Before we move on, I want to see if there are any questions about SEO and the Google products that we covered already. I thank you all for alerting us that the Test My Site link wasn't working, and we'll make sure that we get that updated. But are there any other questions before I move on to the next couple of slides? All right, well, definitely feel free to ask your questions as they come in the Q&A portal as well as in the chat. Lewis responded and said that they see sponsor pages and news articles. That's great, especially if it's sponsored pages and news articles related to your business. And if you searched a keyword related to your business and you're seeing news articles and sponsored pages, then the sponsor pages is letting us know, well, maybe that's something you might want to consider, is doing a sponsor page because it's coming up. And the second part is, if it's a keyword related to your business and you're seeing news articles, how do we get a news article that is written by you or about your business on there? All right, y'all. So let's talk about business profile, one of my favorites. So when we did the search in the last section, we concentrated on the organic results. But if you remember, I mentioned this area on the right side, which is the Google business profile. It is something that also shows up on the search results page, and it by far is one of my favorite tools. It again is another free business tool that is offered by Google, and you can access that tool via the link that Vicky is dropping in the chat. But I want to know, before I go on, who has a business profile? Give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. If you answered yes and you've had any really amazing benefits from your business profile, let us know in the chat. I love the reports that I get from business profile, letting me know how many visitors I have to my profile every month. Another thing is that I've gotten reviews that I didn't even ask my customers for because of my Google business profile. Diane, I see you saying it needs some work. It's all good. We're going to cover it today. And then hopefully by the end of this section, you'll feel more empowered to be able to do some tweaks and tighten up your business profile so you are showing up properly in the search results. So I want you to think about your business profile as like your digital storefront. So this is where people can literally see the value of your business based off of the information that you're providing, the products that you're showing. You literally can post your store hours, You can update store hours easily with holiday hours coming up, or if it's a time where it's closed. Once you create and claim your business, you can manage all the information and how it appears, not just in your business profile, but also across Google search and maps. So your business profile is directly correlated to how you show up whenever someone pulls you up on Google Maps or in Google search. Again, once you're in your dashboard of your profile, you can add your address, update your address, set your service area. This is the hub for reviews. So anybody knows a Google review is key. I know as a consumer, I thrive off of being able to look at a business profile and see the top 3 reviews that are right there. And usually if it's good, then that gives me, like the push to maybe go to their website and explore this place more. So again, as a consumer, the way that we function is the same way that someone else might look at our business profile and make moves. So let's talk about making the most of it. One of the things I mentioned already is the special hours. Another thing that we came across, especially during COVID-19, is that there were different changes in service availability, hours of operation, or specific rules or restrictions around COVID. So again, that's where you can update that information. You can update it with a post onto your profile or just the general information offering. You also can add pictures of your products or your actual storefront, your service providers. All of that information you can showcase to allow a potential customer to really kind of connect to your business. There's a local designer here. Her name is Nisha Blackwell of Knotsland, and she has the most amazing stories when it comes to the business profile, because she literally has people. She has a very unique business where she creates bow ties. So she has people that search for, a custom bow tie near me, and they come into her storefront and say, I found you on your business profile, and I saw these 5-star reviews, and I saw the pictures of these cool bow ties, from a bow tie for a dog to bow ties for groomsmen and the groom. And I just had to come. And you're Black owned, because the business profile allows you to put those certain determinations, and you're women owned, and we wanted to support you. So business profile can definitely just really, and it's something that's easily done because you know all the information about your business. It's just about taking the time and putting it into your profile. So I already covered some of these things. The one thing I did not cover is messages. So I told you about posts. So the same way you post on social media is the same way that you can post on your business profile. There are even some social media posting platforms like, I'm losing the name of it right now, but it'll come to me. But those are the platforms.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook pages.
So not those ones, but it's the ones that like you connect all of your accounts to it, and then you create your posting in there. But there's one in particular that actually posts to your business profile, which I thought was impressive. Most of them just post to your like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But again, the same way you post on those social media streams, post on your business profile. Ask for reviews. Reviews will change the game for you. You want to make sure that Loomly, that's it. My assistant just texted me about Loomly and it popped up. It's Loomly. That's the one that will allow you to post to your business profile. So reviews can change everything. It's the thing that can draw someone to actually explore your site or walk into your storefront. So make sure that you're requesting reviews and you're monitoring reviews on your business profile. If it's a bad review, respond to it, and respond to it with all of the integrity and poise that you have as a small business owner. So now you're modeling for other potential customers how they can expect to be treated even whenever someone is dissatisfied. The last thing is messages. So this is really cool. You can turn on the messages feature and someone can actually chat with you about your business from the messages that is available in the Google business profile. So if you haven't created one yet, I definitely recommend creating one. Yes, so Janice mentioned Hootsuite, HubSpot. Yes, those are a bunch of them. Meta Business Suite. I'm not familiar with the Meta one. I'm gonna have to look into that. Is that the Facebook one, Brandon? If that is, I love the Meta one. But Loomly is similar to Hootsuite and HubSpot. And Planoli, Francis said, yes, those are all ones. But Loomly is one that actually will post to your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and your business profile all from one platform. So before I move on, I'm going to see if there are any questions. I see that, Luis, what's the best way to get a secure verification for my site? You use Squarespace and they've told you that it's secure, but you're having trouble getting it. Can you do it with Google? So that is more of a domain question, and getting like an SSL certificate for your website to ensure security. There are some hosting platforms that automatically offer it. If they don't offer it, then that's something that you can get put onto your site separately. I would recommend maybe searching for someone who does like maybe website development, and maybe have a consultation with them so they can check out your SSL certificates and security. I'm not overly familiar with Squarespace and how they offer that. Any other questions that you all have? So let me know in the chat, are you guys going to use your Google business profile? Give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. Are you going to get it all set up? I want to know. I love business profile. I need to update mine. So our last segment, oh, perfect. So Janice is saying the Temple SBDC can review your SSL certificate. So there you go. That's absolutely amazing. So get connected with Temple SBDC, which you already are, about that tool or that resource that you can use to go ahead and get your SSL certificate so your website is secure. So lastly, we are going to get into talking about Google Ads. So I want to know if you ran ads before. So let me know in the chat, 1 for yes, 2 for no. And if you have, give us some more information on whether or not it was helpful for you. And Vicki also dropped the link to ads so you can kind of get some more information. And next, we're actually going to watch a video. It's one of my favorite videos. And Vicki, I'm going to look to you to make sure I don't have an echo or anything.
Everybody likes jam. Who doesn't like jam? Seriously, I dream about flavors. Trade Street Jam Company makes low sugar vegan jams for pretty much everything under the sun. Honey, do you know how many things you can do with this jam? You can make cocktails, you can put on roasted meats or veggies, oatmeal. The uses are endless. I've been a chef for about 15 years. I needed something fun to do after work. I'm not a big TV watcher. I would stop at this store on the way home, grab a bunch of fruit, anything weird and exotic that they had. And I started cooking. I started jamming. Too much? You don't like the puns?
Do you like the bananas, honey?
Yeah. My husband is my test dummy, I guess you can say.
You want some more?
You like mommy's cooking? When I started Trade Street, I was selling on another e-commerce platform, and we were also selling a lot of jam in person. But COVID hit and all the markets shut down, which freaked me out. I'm already scared about being a new mommy. And then on top of that, I'm worried about the life of my business. People started ordering specialty food online, so we immediately had to pivot and focus all of my efforts on selling online. When people go on Google and they search jam or jelly, I want them to be able to find my brand. With Google Ads, they can type those things in and I pop up. You guys, that's huge. Being able to sell on our website, it really did save us. I couldn't imagine going back to not using Google products. We went from making 2,000 jars every 2 months to making 2,000 jars every 2 weeks. Our sales increased by 1,000%. It was crazy. I've hired 4 or 5 different contractors. Hiring feels amazing. I think it's so important for our product to have a story behind it. I think when people see a woman behind the brand, a person of color, it just really adds something to that jar other than jam. Oh, you kiss mommy, you kissing mommy. I want Zola to be able to grow up and look at me and say, like, my mom did that. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Y'all, I love that video. Right, Yashonda? Listen, I've done this workshop a lot of times, but every time I just be like, where's the tissue? It's so good, but it's so inspiring to us as small business owners. And I saw a lot of you said in the chat that you haven't ran an ad before. So this video to me is always so perfect because number one, she's very relatable. So we can relate to her in many ways, but then the numbers that she shared, she said they went from 2,002 months to producing 2,000 jars in 2 weeks, that her sales went up 1,000%. Like it's phenomenal. So again, I hope that that's inspiring you as well whenever, sorry, y'all.
Everybody likes jam. Who doesn't like?
It's inspiring you as well to consider an ad and the power of it. But every single product that we discussed so far and the power of being found on Google properly, setting up your SEO, all plays into having a successful ad. So you want to make sure that you follow all the steps. So let's get into advertising a little bit more. And Yashonda, I love what you said in the chat about it giving you hope and inspiration. It does the same for me. You know, I love that ad. So advertising on Google is called pay per click advertising. So in other words, you only pay whenever people take an action like clicking on your ad, or the action can be actually calling your business from the ad. So the ads, what they do is they reach people who are looking for the products and services that you offer. So as you can see on the screen, we talked about where text ads go. So that is giving you that leverage because you are making an investment in your ad to show up right at the top as soon as someone searches. And that is really, really cool. So your ads, not only do they appear in those search results, but Google has a display network, which includes millions of partner sites. So not only will your ad potentially show up on Google, but it may also show up on partner sites. I know many of us are probably familiar with seeing ads pop up whenever we watch YouTube and different things of that nature. So those are all different ways that your ad can be found and that leverage can come up. But you want to make sure you set your goals for your ads. And if you haven't been to any of our workshops on learning the basics of Google Ads, I invite you to come join myself or any of the other coaches to learn more about ads and the different types of ads so you can potentially implement it into your system. So one of the easiest ways to get your feet wet with ads is doing a smart campaign with Google Ads. So this campaign is specifically designed for small businesses and new advertisers that, again, are just trying it. You know, they're interested in it. They want to see how it works. This is why smart campaigns are really cool. So they're very flexible. You choose your goal, you customize your content, and then you set your budget. There's no contract, there's no fees to get started, there's no cancellation fee or anything of the nature. So you are absolutely in control. Your ads can literally do whatever you want them to do. They can focus on what you want them to focus on, but they should be rooted in a goal. That goal might be to bring visitors to your website or to have more people call and place in their holiday orders. Whatever that goal is, set it and then build your smart campaign around it. Vicki has dropped the Google Ads information in the chat already, so definitely visit that website and explore that a little more. So this checklist is a very good one to help you kind of launch your first campaign. So again, I said you want to make sure you start out with your goal. And you might have multiple goals, but if you have multiple goals, prioritize them. So if the goal was to, you know, increase sales, to get people to visit the storefront, which one is prioritized? Then now you want to add the information about your business so people can recognize you when they see you or they see an ad. So you want to add that content and that description about your service or product That's going to help you reach your goal to pull people to want to engage with you. Then you want to identify where you want people to go on your website. So this is a very important step because a lot of people will just put in their website, yashondabennett.com, and that's going to take you to your homepage. But if you're trying to push sales for your new book that you're releasing at the end of the year, then you want your ad to go to your book page. So you want to take people exactly where they need to be to continue to explore what they saw on your ad. You don't want to send people to another page where they then have to look and explore to figure out where they can buy this book at. You want to take them right to the source. So you figure out where you want them to be, you write that ad, you choose your keywords, you choose your locations, and Google even has some ways where we actually will pull some of the keywords and recommend keywords for you for your ad. Then you set your budget. So you pay whatever you like, whatever is within your budget, pay it. We had someone earlier, well, this was last month, that they said they had ran ads on social media before, but they had never invested a high amount. I think they might have invested this time $1,000, and they said within a couple of days they had made $5,000 worth of sales. So not telling you all to invest $1,000, but find what it is that works for you and that amount that you are willing to invest and put it in there. A lot of people say that your marketing budget should be 10% of your earnings for the year. And then last but not least, once you've done all those things, you can go ahead and launch your ad. So I pretty much went through all of these step by step. You want to start with your goal and identify what it is. Smart campaigns, it can either be to go to, it can connect to your website, or it can connect to a phone call if you know that that is what's best for your business. And then this is showing you what it will look like if you already have a business profile, because you can connect your smart campaign to your business profile, which is a great idea because it's going to pull all that information in, all your keywords in, even your address. So driving directions and things of that nature will be easy to connect to the ad. You want your business name typed in here exactly how you will want it to appear in your ad. This is the link that we talked about. So in this one, you can see that the link is going to their homepage. But again, if you're running a sale, if you have a new marketing video you want people to watch, you want to direct people to that particular page. And then this is what they'll see. So once you launch your smart campaign, it's going to show you what it will look like on a mobile version or even a desktop version. And this one particularly has photos connected to it. This is where you write your description. So you want to think about these 3 questions when you're writing your description for your ad. What do you have to offer? What do you want to accomplish? And who are your customers? If you answer those 3 questions, it's going to allow you to generate the message that you're putting out there to potential customers that will view your ad. Then this is where you can select your keywords. A single keyword theme represents multiple similar words. So if your keyword theme is jam, then that would also include fruit jam or vegan jam or buy jam. Once your ad is active, I do want you all to know that you can review, change, turn off, delete any keywords, and also change any information that you need to in the setup of your ad. And then this here is where you determine where your ad appears at. So if you are doing a sale and you're trying to drive traffic to your storefront because you're doing a closeout sale for the year, you want to get all the clothes out of your boutique, then maybe you fine tune your ad and put it in the address near your boutique. If you are selling everywhere, then you will go ahead and make sure that you specify certain cities or regions. And then you set your budget. And again, that budget is whatever you would like it to be. And then last but not least, you go ahead and launch your campaign. And again, you want to remember that it's going to give you reporting on your ad and how it's doing. And then it also is going to allow you to make edits and changes and give you suggestions on how to make your ad show up better. So now, like, what's next? Like, now that you have your ad going, again, you're reviewing that performance, you can create different versions of your ad. Again, I highly recommend attending one of our Learn the Basics of Google Ads, where we really get into this for our workshop duration, where we talk about negative keywords. So if you want to exclude certain things from your search, you can get specific about when you want your ads to appear. You can also connect your Google Ads to your analytics. That's really going to show what people are doing on your website after they click on the ad, which again, in turn empowers you to know how you respond and connect to the people who are potentially looking at connecting with your brand. So I want to know how many of you are going to try Google Ads for your business. I see some of you have said one for yes, then give me a 2 for no, and I love to see that. Francis, you asked how long before you start seeing results. It usually takes a couple of days before your actual results start to flow, but I do highly recommend, if you're running an ad, to kind of set up some time, if you can, daily or at least every other day, to check in on it to see how it's producing, because you also have the capacity to make some changes. So before we wrap up, because we're just about at time, I want to know, what will you do from this workshop? What stood out to you the most? What's the one thing that you know you are going to go away and implement immediately at your business? So let me know that.
Quick one before we continue, just wanted to just come in. This goes to our wonderful attendees. I did posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar a few minutes ago. However, I am still repeating it for the second time. For those of you that didn't see it the first time, we at Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, even as it helps us in improving the services we provide to you guys at a low cost. So kindly take 30 seconds of your time to please help us to fill out the survey. Soleil, we can continue, please.
Thank you so much, Garba. Definitely fill out the survey. Temple SPDC is giving you all amazing resources. I'm thankful to be one of them, but even to the gentleman who was looking for their SSL certificate, they're like, we got that covered. So take time, do the survey, let them know what you need and how you feel. I love to see some of the things that you all are saying you're going to do. Work on your SEO, work on your website, looking at how people view your website. So that's like analytics and SEO. Those are all great things. I'm going to give you all some tools and resources from this workshop, and Vicky's going to drop all the links in the chat for you. So we talked about the business profile, Google Ads, and organic search results. And these are the areas that you can show up. Your next steps is to dig into these different areas and see how you are showing up and how you can position your business to show up even better in search results by looking at the tools that we talked about with organic searches, also setting up your business profile or refreshing it, and considering running a Google ad to get yourself to show up at the top of a search related to your business. This screen here would be a great one to screenshot, but I believe Vicky is dropping all of the links in the chat for you all now. This goes over all of the different tools that we talked about today. The next tools that I have here are just some tools that you can tap into when you are looking to learn on your own outside of our workshops here. So Primer is an app that you can load onto your phone to have quick marketing and digital skills trainings at your fingertips. We also have Google Career Certificates. These certificates help you to really fully immerse into understanding some of the digital skills, such as digital marketing and e-commerce, UX design, project management, etc. I'm actually taking a digital marketing course right now, and it is really helping me refresh my business skills that I already know and add some more to it. You can always tap into workshops at Grow On Air to learn on your own or to get more information about a Google product tool or a digital marketing skill. And you can also go to Grow with Google to learn additional information to continue to help you to grow. That's all I have for you all today. Vicky's going to drop the link to our Google survey. And if you are interested in completing it, you can do so and choose Pennsylvania, but also make sure that you do Temple's SBDC survey as well to get the feedback that's necessary. That concludes my presentation. And I know we're like literally right at 1 o'clock today. So I hope I answered any questions. Garba, I don't know if we have a couple moments to just open up for any questions. I yield to you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, thank you for a wonderful presentation. Before we wrap it up, actually, like you rightly said, we were supposed to wrap everything up at 1 p.m. exactly. But hey, I will probably give like 2 minutes to see if any question will come up on board so that we can as well nail it. But even as we wait for the 2 minutes, just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys for keeping it a day with us. Soleil and Vicky, thank you for a wonderful presentation. And of course, to my wonderful Temple SPDC colleague, you know, without them, we wouldn't have been here and the webinar wouldn't have come into existence. Thank you guys for your wonderful cooperation and your encouragement. Like I said, I will give you just 2 minutes. I can see that I've exhausted one. We're left with just a minute. If anyone comes, fine. If it doesn't, again, I will just wrap it up here.
I see John asked the question about thoughts on relevant like webinar topics that are relevant for a service-based industry. I would say there are 2 resources that I would recommend for that. Google Trends. So look up your service, like your accounting firm and business consulting, and see what people are searching. And there's also another one of my favorite tools is Ask the Public. It's very similar to Google Trends, but you can type in a keyword that you're looking for or your industry, and it's going to show you, I mean, ends upon ends of like what people are searching for in that topic. So I did one on branding, and then from that, I took some courses that I could create, some webinars that I could run based off of what people are searching for in my industry. So those are 2 tools that I would recommend for that, John.
Okay, guys, thank you once again and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.